As an online business owner, one of the key things that we have to do is build up our visibility and authority so that people discover us, they want to connect with us, they feel like we are somebody that could really help them. They have that trust in us that we know what we're talking about. One of the most amazing ways to do this is through public speaking, which I know it sounds maybe terrifying, but it's so blooming powerful for us to actually do. So I want to take you behind the scenes of my journey with public speaking, from getting laughed at, because I was so bad, to doing a TEDx talk that has had 8.5 million views. And I want to share the impact of that with you and how you can do these same things. And I want to share with you the impact that it's had for me and my business. There's been quite a few videos where I have talked about like different things you can do to kind of increase your profile and your authority. And so in this episode, I really want to dive into speaking. Now, speaking is something I actually started doing right at the beginning of building a business. So I know I've talked about this previously, and I'll leave a link to it below, networking. So early on in my business, I began networking like a crazy person, connecting with people, having conversations with people. Also, I reached out to like universities, because universities often have like entrepreneur programs. So I reached out to different organisations where there was like a synergy, which is such a powerful thing for all of us to do, and for all of us to think outside the box and think creatively around like, okay, this is what I'm doing. What other organisations do this where there's a connection, where maybe I could reach out and connect with them and support them or build a relationship with them in some way. One of the first speaking opportunities I ever received was to go back to my university that I went to, the University of Birmingham. It was linked to the university, but I think it was actually a school in Birmingham. 2 classrooms of 15-year-olds. I thought, oh, it's fine. I'm just going into a school, giving a little talk, just sharing my story. So I didn't really prepare anything because I thought, how hard can it be to stand and share your story? So I got there and the guy before me was speaking. He had all his notes and I was like, oh my God, that was really good. And then I realized it was me and I was starting to get really nervous. And I remember going up to the front of the classroom, talking, thinking, oh my God, I don't even know what I'm saying. And all of a sudden I felt like my story disappeared from my brain and my mouth went so dry, I could barely even move my tongue. And I remember at one point stopping, fumbling for a bottle of water, drinking the water, by which point the kids at the back of the class started laughing at me. I wanted the ground to swallow me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awful. And it made me realise, never again, I am never doing a talk ever again without being prepared for what I'm saying. But for the next talk, I prepared myself. And so I would go and do these little talks in front of small audiences, and I started to perfect sharing my story, but then sharing like nuggets along the way that would be really valuable. Literally every time I was asked to speak, I would say yes. I would do it for free. They would never even cover my expenses, but I was like going all over the country, speaking at all these different events to like get myself out there, to build credibility, because when you are the person stood on the stage, that audience is listening to you, and we all have a psychological connection between someone stood on a stage and us sat there watching. All of a sudden we perceive that person to be in a position of authority, to be stood on that stage talking to us. There must be some reason why that person's been invited to stand on that stage and talk to us. So it raises your profile and it creates credibility, and then people start hearing about you and start getting to know you, and it's really powerful. Even if you haven't even started your business yet, getting into speaking and just sharing your story is such a powerful thing to do. You do not need to wait till you have a really successful business. You do not need some super unique story where something drastic happened in your life to be able to go and stand on a stage and talk. You just need to think through your life and things that are interesting and just start to weave together a story or some things where you can stand on stage and add value. The more you practice, the better you will get at doing it. I had practiced doing these little talks, which was great for exposure and credibility, and also for my confidence. It helped me feel like I was building momentum. I was moving this in a really great direction. For me, I decided that I really wanted to do a TEDx talk. I thought like it would be the next level. So I put it on my vision board. And as it happened, because I'd been networking and connecting and trying to like build my profile, when it came to Manchester, which is where I live, probably like a couple of months after I put it on my vision board, I got an email saying, we're doing TEDx Manchester and we would love you to speak. And I was like, what? This is crazy. So one, put it on a vision board, but two, even if someone doesn't actually reach out to you to ask, there are so many TEDx events now. Figure out who in your local area will do that stuff and reach out to people. You can always submit yourself to be a TEDx speaker. So just look at the opportunities there are for you to do that. So when I spoke at TEDx in Manchester, there was about 800 or 1,000 people in the room. It was the biggest audience I had ever spoken to. I was bloody petrified. I had realised in doing talks that my mouth goes incredibly dry when I talk, and I had discovered through practicing my speech once in the car while eating gummy bears that if I had a gummy bear in my mouth wouldn't get dry. So I remember putting a gummy bear in my mouth thinking, I hope I do not choke on this during this talk. And I went on the stage. That practice over the years really helped me to cope, which was just so amazing. Give yourself permission to just be you and know that you're going to mess up sometimes. It might feel really uncomfortable, but we're just human and everyone else is too. And most people in the audience are going to be cheering you on and they want to see you do well. Public speaking is such a powerful way to create that credibility, exposure, and increase your profile. So many people have now discovered me from my TEDx talk. So many people have discovered me through talking at events. They see me and then they tell their friends about me, and the way they perceive me is in a different light because they saw me as a speaker on a stage. And we can all do this. You don't need qualifications. You don't need to have a successful business. When I did talks at the beginning, I wasn't making a single penny. I barely knew what the hell I was doing. Just know you can get started at any stage, and the earlier you start, the better. But if you're really here for this, if you really want to build a successful business, then taking this leap and getting out there and connecting and speaking is such a powerful thing. I definitely encourage everyone with an online business to do it and to go down that route. In the next episode, I want to dive deeper into something else you can do to raise your profile, your level of authority and credibility, and that is writing a book. I want to take you behind the scenes and share with you how I wrote my book, how I managed to get it published, how you can get your book published, and how you can make it a massive success. I'm so excited to dive into that, so I will see you in the next episode. If you want more help to build a really successful online business, then come and take our quiz. We're going to ask you a few simple questions, and then after that, we'll give you a personalized plan for how you can build a really successful business based on where you are at. Go and take it. The link is below, and I will see you in the next episode.